Baker Mayfield and the upstart Cleveland Browns. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we're in the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the 37-year-old Ben Roethlisberger, ready to lead the Steelers, and he led the entire NFL in passing yards in 2018, the second time that he's owned that honor. Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
Many can debate about who is the best offensive lineman in Pittsburgh, but one guy who is in that conversation is guard David DeCastro. A four-time Pro Bowler, two-time All-Pro, one of the best pulling guards in the league.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The former Pro Bowler Glover Quinn there making the play. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball thrown and came away with 5 interceptions.
Here's Roethlisberger. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Number 53. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up.
On third down, Roethlisberger. He completes it to Bryant. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
A solid pickup of 13 sets them up first and goal. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during the...
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Olivier Vernon in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Second and goal from the 6 this time. On second down, Samuels. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to third and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering.
And this is caught. It's Bryant, and it's a Steeler touchdown. Des Bryant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you're really out here in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. The Browns heading out, and the pressure squarely on the shoulders of number 6 in his second season now with the Browns. The number 1 overall pick in 2018, Baker Mayfield. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle. And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
It'll be fun for us to keep our eyes on wide receiver Jarvis Landry, because we know if the ball's going to be in the air, he's likely to be on the receiving end. A 4-time Pro Bowler, he plays with an intensity that rubs off on his teammates.
On second down now. It's Hunt, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. On third down, Mayfield. He's got a first down and then some at midfield, and he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Well, officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. That's complete to Demetrius Harris, the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll score. Touchdown. 24 yards as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off, too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted-for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice game.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. A drive that time of 6 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting? Blitz coming, and down he goes. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To try again after the sack, Roethlisberger able to hit his tight end, Grimble. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete. So possession 1 ended in 6. Possession 2 likely going to end in a punt.
Yeah, that's okay. They just got to get back to what they worked on in the opening drive and continue to make a few adjustments along the way. It won't be exact because the defense will make a few adjustments themselves. Just get back to your game plan.
Landry now on the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Heading out as a Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down, and he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Mayfield now from the 50. Got a man. That's Rashard Higgins. These two teams all tied after 1. On to the 2nd from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll try to run with Hunt. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now Roethlisberger. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The catch and run good for 24 yards. Roethlisberger now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Samuels. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On 2nd down, Samuels. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do this.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On 1st and 10 is Conner. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers are going to retake the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And all the way down to the 22-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
A big play that time for Cleveland. 45 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. His throw caught right around the 6. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll run with Chubb. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Throwing, Mayfield, and that'll be incomplete. The linebacker, T.J. Watt, there on the coverage.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Touchdown, Cleveland! They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns.
How many times in the course of a game do you talk about momentum plays? And I think we just saw one there. Just scored, right?
Just took the lead.
Just took the lead, went downfield, got the ball free again and picked it up. They got a chance to really get the momentum on their side now.
Yeah, now they'll try to pile on. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. They'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Escaping the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Rashard Higgins, and it's 3rd and short.
Terrific coverage in the end zone that time. Forced him out of the pocket to his right. I thought maybe try and run it there, but no one came open for him. Nice job by the defense of not getting out of their lanes.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
On 3rd down, the defense decided to blitz. A very good job of recognizing it, stepping away from the pressure, and finding open space to scramble and pick up a 1st down.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Kill, turn up. Kill, turn up.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness. Just about got him into the end zone.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Browns score. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play, and result, touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game. But just let them know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Pick it up. Where's it?
Roethlisberger will throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now it's Roethlisberger. Out left side here to Bryant. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now Landry. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jarvis Landry and company heading back onto the field now. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away.
Now Mayfield lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here, you really like it.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Chubb on the counter. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Mayfield. He's got a man open. That's Marshall. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
To throw, Mayfield. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
To throw again on second down. Mayfield flush to his right. That is caught at the 7-yard line. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, it doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain. Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them. Kicked the field goal, and yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. This is taken around the 12.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe. Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mayfield flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. Mayfield now being chased out left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 35. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, we talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. After the sack on 1st down, Mayfield. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Mayfield to throw it. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to go into the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So 3 field goals that he's hit. Now this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
This is taken at his 4. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Then you got to look at that play sheet. and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 16 yards on the play as they try to chip away at this 16-point deficit.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jalen Samuels, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are able to cut into that lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
That's caught, and he will get into the end zone to shave 2 more points off the deficit. And that almost makes it a brand-new ballgame. Now it's a 1-score affair after they get the 2.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the 2-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their 2-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marched off another 15 against your squad.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll toss it to Hunt. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. They'll try to run for the 1st down with Hunt. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Mayfield looks to throw, steps away to his left, and he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
Defensively by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because they knew coming into this game, but we've already seen examples in this contest that he can run the football.
I think they're going to examine different ways to rush him now. Are they going to do it with different lanes? Are they going to use a spy? But they have to come up with options because right now, he's hurting them.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 15 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They will get 4 yards here on the 1st down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Samuels again. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Roethlisberger throwing complete to McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler 1st. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play. Roethlisberger now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And they'll try the jet sweep here. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Roethlisberger. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
And this is caught. It's Bryant, and it's a Steeler touchdown. Des Bryant, his 2nd touchdown of the night, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Mayfield now, perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, alert, alert, alert! Check!
A toss play to Hunt. And some room to roam now. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
First seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They're going to be stopped up on this 1st down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door.
And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick-6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really started to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year one. By year two, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Ben Roethlisberger and the offense down by 15. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go. And they're in danger of a third straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to the air, Roethlisberger after the pick-6. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Here's Roethlisberger. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, you need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now this throw, it's complete. It's Moncrief with it. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. And he finds McDonald. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 more there and another first down. Now Roethlisberger. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. Again, it's Roethlisberger. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for 1 here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
Dawson able to connect on the extra point as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. And this is going to be recovered by the hand team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
And they will take a knee here. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they'll indeed take a knee.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Browns, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin.